The most expensive class ever has been added to the game, and it only costs you $2,000. Let's get into it. I thought Master of Moglins for $100 was overpriced and pay to win, but no, they up in the bar always. So yesterday on the design notes, at the very bottom under like a row of houses, a big row of houses, there's a little link. If you click it, it brings you here. And these are 3 brand new classes that are added to the game. One's for 10 years played, one's for 600k AC, and one's for 9 years membership. If you have one of those requirements or all 3, if you're absolutely insane and you have all 3 of those, you can go to your book of lore, badges, and achievement. Go to the right a little bit, and it'll be right here. So if you have your 9 years membership, it'll be right there. I think that's the time played. Click on it. You want to get the item. So you need a certain item per thing. So I know like you need the armor, I'm pretty sure, to start the quest. And there's a little quest to get the class. Look up how to do that. I don't know because I don't have the requirements. But that's how you get these, if you're wondering. But I'm just here to talk about it. So first up, 10 years played, High Seas Commander. We can see the skills right here, skill breakdown. Probably the worst part of this class is the mana regen. It has I'm pretty sure it's warrior mana regen. Now, I saw people on Twitter complaining, so you gain mana for all your hits in combat, which I'm pretty sure that's warrior regen. Auto attack is basic. It's got combo runes, rank 1. Mana cost is 7 with a cooldown of 3. Physical type, so I don't think physical might be able to be ranged. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not though. Your runes are a primary weapon and your weapon of choice. Apply dodge runes for 4 seconds and 1 stack of combo runes on yourself. Each stack increases the chance of crit by 7% up to 5 stacks for 10 seconds. Also applies empowered rune, increasing crit damage by 15% up to 5 stacks for 10 seconds. I actually like that skill quite a bit. Now, I have seen people on Twitter complaining that this class is underpowered. It is 10 years time played for High Seas Commander, so maybe a fair argument, but you are just getting it for free just for having 10 years on your account. Kind of arbitrary amount of time on your account. You're just getting a free class out of it, basically. Free, using the term free loosely, of course, but even Alina says up here, free. So you can't really complain too much. A lot of games wouldn't give you anything. They might give you like a little icon next to your name or something at most. And a lot of games don't last 10 years either, so there's that. Magical enhancement, 25 mana cost on a 10-second cooldown. Summon the power within the runes. You apply and activate their effects, either boosting your haste by 30%, dodge by 30%, or applying a moderate HOT. If multiple runes are applied, each rune's effect will be activated. So this is based on what rune you have active, and of course if you have all 3, you get all 3 of these boosts. They're decent boosts, 30% haste, dodge, and hot. So decent stuff there. Mana cost is pretty high at 25 for that, but hey, you could get a 60% boost right there, or yeah, 60 and then another HOT, so it's not bad. I'll try to speed up here. Mana cost is 20, 12-second cooldown. Type is magical, so I'm pretty sure that would be ranged, along with that one being magical also. So another 20 mana cost. You got 25, 20, 12-second, 10-second. I can see why people say there's mana issues, especially with the warrior regen. You always carry a rune cannon around, saving it for an opportune moment. Deals heavy damage, applies cannon fodder, which increases all damage taken by the target by 30% for 6 seconds. And if a combo rune is active, also applies cannon burn, dealing 400% damage over 6 seconds. Also applies healing rune for 4 seconds. Sounds decent. Other than the mana cost in the class, I don't think there's a lot wrong with it. Passive 1 advantage gear, 15% dodge, 15% crit on your rank 4. Supernova, that'd be your last skill, is 25 mana cost. So you have 2 skills that cost 25 and a skill that costs 20. So I could see why people say there's mana issues. On a 15-second cooldown, chant the ancient words of sacred text that you found on your journeys, dealing massive damage. Applies rune-bound destruction, increasing your opponent's haste by 25% while reducing their damage by 40%. Also applies haste rune for 4 seconds. And then your rank 10 passive is after honing your pirate abilities for a long time, you've mastered the art of being an enchanted pirate, increasing your damage by 10%. So, yeah, it's also in high seas if you have the requirements for it, and you can get that class today. I don't think it sounds too bad. They could probably tweak it a little bit to make it more user-friendly, the mana regen maybe, or making it slightly lower mana cost maybe on some of these, but yeah, it seems like a good class, and you're getting it for free if you have 10 years on your account, so that's pretty cool. This one's my favorite out of all three of them, Grim Necromancer. This is 600 KAC, so it'll cost you, without a boost, there's a boost going on right now, so you could get it for only $1,333 right now if you've bought the 18 KAC packages. You have to buy a few of them, but you could get this right now if you wanted to for only $1,300. And if there's no bonus, it's $1,997, or basically $2,000. So, yeah, keep that in mind when you're looking through this class. But this class does seem pretty powerful. So, your first one is your auto attack. It is a 2-second cooldown with 0 mana cost, striker, and it's physical. I'm pretty sure mana regen on this one would be wizard, although it doesn't say. So, I'm just guessing on that one. Strike your opponent with Skeletal Grasp. This that can never miss or crit, so you're guaranteed to hit this every time. But it can't do crit damage. Damage dealt is based on your weapon's damage. It has a Contagious applied. If you have Contagious applied, the opponent begins to rot, taking damage over time for 30 seconds. Stacks to 10. That's nuts. 30-second damage over time is a long time. That's a long. I don't have to say that. On a 2-second cooldown, yeah, that's a lot of damage over time. I don't know how much damage over time, but that's a lot. It's a lot of time for it to be lasting. 12 mana cost on the first one for a 2-second cooldown, so you could burn mana with that. Summons an undead minion to your side, only applies if summoned outside of combat. Applies Grim Fate, a 4-second self damage over time. So you're doing a self dot. Also damages yourself to send your minion into a Grim Frenzy, increasing your outgoing damage by 50% for 12 seconds, stacks up to 3. So depending on how much this damage over time is doing to yourself, you could have a 150% damage boost just on a 6-second cooldown, basically 150% damage boost on 6-second cooldown. But I imagine this dot would kill you if you tried to do that or get very, very close. Now, if it gets very, very close to killing you and you still retain the 150% damage boost, you'll see later on in these skills how crazy this class could get. So Enfeeble is a 10 mana cost on a 4-second cooldown. Enfeebles the target, dealing more damage the closer you are to death, which lowers their damage, dodge, and crit chance by 40% for 5 seconds. So this seems like it's targeted towards PvP. Also leeches life from your target and heals you, guaranteed to hit and crit. So this skill does more damage the closer you are to death, and is also guaranteed to hit and crit. Well, this skill damages yourself and boosts your damage by a maximum of 150%. You could see how that gets a little crazy, right? I could. Yeah, I could see how that could get a little crazy. This class sounds amazing. I wish I had $2,000 to drop on the game to get it. So, Spoil, 0 mana cost, 3-second cooldown. Spoil your life soul, damaging yourself to restore magic points. If Grim Fate is active, consumes it and applies Contagious, increasing your dot damage by 20% for 6 seconds. So Contagious is the one your auto attack is affected by, which applies a 30-second dot, and it boosts the dot damage by 20% on this skill for 6 seconds. Pretty good. Pretty good. Rank 4 passive is a haste increase of 20% and an endurance increase of 20%. This is probably one of the best rank 4, if not the best, in the game. Period. I don't know of a better class with a better rank 4 passive than a 20% increase in endurance increase. So, endurance and haste increase. Command Death is your last skill with a 20 mana cost on a 6-second cooldown. Use your necrotic magic to assault your opponent, dealing more damage the closer you are to death. So this class likes to be near death, and you get rewarded for it with a lot of damage, it seems. And your last passive is spell damage taken reduced by 30%, which a lot of classes deal spell damage. So in PvP, this would be pretty decent against quite a few classes. So yeah, all around, kind of nuts. This class is very expensive also. So yeah, I like Grim Necro. That's a good class on paper, at least. I haven't used it, and I probably never will, but it sounds really cool on paper. Last up, out of the 3 classes added today, this is for membership. So this will only cost you a total of $521. Seems like a pretty good deal when you compare it to Grim Necromancer, if we're being honest. But the class itself, it seems like it took a hit for costing $1,500 less, almost. So your auto attack is Bombardment, 2.75 second cooldown, physical, fires a powerful long-range explosive shell. Damage dealt is based on your weapon damage. You else apply. I think that says you also apply a stack of scores to your target, which deals a small amount of damage and lasts 3 seconds. At rank 10, you conduct your opponent, and which grants additional effects to the rest of your skills. Plasma Bomb has a 30 mana cost. That's pretty high on a 3-second cooldown. So in 6 seconds, you could get rid of all your mana, basically. So keep that in mind. Don't spam this. Description: deals a moderate damage and applies Shocked. Shocked reduces enemies' haste and dodge chance by 20% for 15 seconds. If the target is conducted, it is consumed and they become depolarized, which increases their incoming physical damage by 20% for 10 seconds. That's a pretty good buff. It's not crazy or anything, but that's decent. But the mana cost is pretty high for what you're getting out of it, to be honest, when you compare it to things like Lightcaster, stuff like that. Sonic Grenade, mana cost is 30 on a 3-second cooldown. So 30, 30, 3. Yeah, so if you want to have these 2 skills running, that's 60 mana. That's a majority of your mana gone. Deals moderate damage and applies Deafen. Deafen reduces enemies' hit and crit chance by 20% for 15 seconds. Also has a 25% chance to stun for 4 seconds. If the target is conducted, it is consumed and they become electrocuted, which increases their incoming damage by 20% for 10 seconds. It's pretty good. Now, you see how high this mana cost is on these 2 skills? Well, here's why. Recharge, your third skill, has 0 mana on a 3-second cooldown. Recharges your weapon to recover your mana. Recharging prevents the use of your weapon for 3 seconds. All of your mana. So 3-second cooldown, you get all your mana, but you can't attack for 3 seconds as a trade-off. So yeah, that's why these skills have such a high mana cost, is because you have a skill to just get back all your mana. Yeah, okay. I've never actually seen that on a class before, so I think that's new for this class right here. Haste increased by 10% and damage increased by 10. Nothing crazy, but pretty decent. Signal Flare, your last skill, is a 40 mana cost. So your 3 skills, that's 100 mana. So I imagine you would want to go boom, boom, like this one, then hit this one, then hit then recharge. Or no, you want to go Plasma Bomb, Sonic Grenade, use your 5th skill, and then recharge. And then repeat. I imagine that's what you want to do with this class. So on a 40 mana, on a 10-second cooldown, deals high damage, plus gives you a secondary effect if your target is shocked and deafened. If shocked, you rally. Rally heals you over time. If deafened, you advance. Advance increases your crit damage by 100%. Secondary effects last 16 seconds. If the target is conducted, it is consumed. They receive an arc burn for 6 seconds at very strong damage over time. And your rank 10 is your bombardments electrify your opponent for 4 seconds, granting secondary effects to your skills. So that is all of the classes that are at it and all the skills. Hopefully you're liking me rambling about them for a little bit here. I have one thing I want to do at the end of this video. So yeah, all those classes are pretty decent, to be honest, although I have heard complaints about the 10-year one. I heard a few complaints, and I think they should change it, just because if someone played for 10 years, they should be happy with the class you give them, in my opinion. Oh, I don't have membership. I wanted to get this house at the end of the video, but my membership literally ran out today. One moment. Alright, that's better. Adding on to the time, you know, I'll be at the, I'll have 600k Cs and 9 years of membership in no time. Clubhouse, bye. Alright, I got the clubhouse. Let's go to my house. Edit. House. Wow, I actually got quite a few houses here. I have to delete some of these soon. Yes. So I farmed this on stream but never showed it, so I feel like I'll show at the end of this one. So it is just the clubhouse with nothing special in it, I imagine. It would be cool if it had something special, but I don't think it does. Yeah, just a bunch of empty rooms, it looks like. Really? Okay, well that's kinda disappointing, to be honest. Well, that's all for this video. If you want to know where I am as far as achievement badge goes, I think I showed this earlier, but I'll scroll through it really quick. So as far as ACs go, I have 7 years played. I'll have 8 years on this account in February. If you're wondering about time played, so that's total. I'm at 200, or no, I think I'm at 300k AC. No, I'm not at 300k. I'm at 200k AC. So still, you know, 1/3 of the way to Grim Necromancer. And membership wise, I'm at, well, I have 5 years upgrade. I think I'm at 5 years. I think that's as far as, yeah, 5 years upgrade on this account. So that's where I am as far as getting stuff like Grim Necromancer or Skyguard, Grenadier, or whatever that class is called. So yeah, that's where I am. And thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. I'll be streaming some Legion Remnant farming on Twitch today. Check that out, link in the description or probably in the comments section on this video. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.